Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. Previously, Mofan was somehow able to awaken 2 rare talents, but kept it a secret until he had to use them in a difficult duel. He is eventually forced to move to another city where he would shockingly awaken another 2 talents. After rescuing the city from a deadly plague, Mofan chooses a reward that allows him to enter the prestigious Fire Element class at school. Mofan insults all of his new classmates, which leads to him being challenged by hundreds of them. He manages to demonstrate his immense strength and later decides to embark on a dangerous journey to find an elemental beast, the Flame Bell. On the journey, Mofan's sister does well to protect the group from a set of white sand demons, but they soon find that they are surrounded by white sand giants. The story continues as our group is surrounded by the dangerous white sand giants. Everyone is terrified as Ling Ling points out that they can only stop the demons for a few minutes at most. She tells Zenzaya to hurry as they need her to cast her psychic magic, so she does. Lin sees the danger that they're all in and decides that she should attack with her earth magic. This clearly infuriates the demons and Mofan must stop her from casting her spell. He reminds her that using magic will get them all killed and tells her to stop casting. She agrees to do so, but we see that the white demons are already irritated and the 2 are in big trouble. Luckily, Zenzaya is still hard at work casting her psychic magic, and it manages to calm the demons into turning back into sand. Mofan wonders if his sister is okay, and she is, as she explains that the white sand demons in this area have higher bloodlines than the group they encountered earlier. They are much more intelligent as well, and it will take more concentration in order to make their hostility disappear. She asks that everyone protect her, and keep any outside distractions from preventing her from casting psychic magic. Mofan immediately turns to Zhang and tells him to keep his mouth shut as he has been distracting everyone since the beginning of their journey, and his story about the human bones made Zenzaya lose focus. The group continue their quest, and Mofan suggests that Zenzaya take a break since she has been consuming mana this entire time. He is concerned that she will burn herself out, but she decides to hold on just a bit longer in the hopes that they will soon see the road ahead. The group then gathers around as Ling Ling checks to see how far they are, and she explains that there are some deviations in the route they are taking with no straight line across. There are still about 3 or 4 kilometers to go, but Zenzaya reveals that she is afraid that her mana won't last that far. She can only last for 2 more kilometers, which concerns everyone, but Manyan points out how they have no other choice but to continue moving forward. Going back is no longer an option, and Zhang states that as long as they just move forward at full speed without any regrets, they will surely achieve success. Mofan tells him that he is far too optimistic and points out how the demons just now appeared like an impenetrable wall. It would be impossible for them to just push through as there is enough demons to cover an entire city. Ling Ling then explains that the demons in the Sand River only gather when they feel something coming, and the range of each alarm is limited. She suggests that they find a way to redirect the attention of the demons. That way, even if they aren't able to calm them down with Zenzaya's abilities, it will still be possible for them to travel for a certain distance. The only question that remains is how to get their attention. Manyan is the one to come up with a plan as he suggests that they send someone that is very fast and agile with a strong ability to dodge enemies. After the rest of them get to safety, then they can figure out how to rescue the decoy. Mofan rejects the idea for being too dangerous, as there is a high probability that the person will not even have a chance to escape, and no one should take that risk. Ling Ling points out that if they do that and the demons all gather together, then there is no chance that they will be able to fight back. However, if the enemy can be divided into several groups, then they will have a far better chance of success. She presents a plan that involves one fast and agile person attracting the first group and pulling them away. Then another one of their members with strong defensive ability will attract the second group. The final remaining group of demons will then be left to their strongest attacker that will eliminate the demon soldiers as quickly as possible. If the plan fails, then they can always use Zenzaya's ability, but at least with her plan they can save a lot of Zenzaya's mana. Everyone agrees to her plan as a reasonable division of labor gathers the power of everyone. Lin is concerned since if any of them fail to hold up their part of the plan, then it will cause the entire plan to fail, and they will all be killed. Mofan explains that they don't have any other options, and this plan is by far the most feasible solution. Staying there thinking of another plan is just wasting Zenzaya's mana, so it's better to just take the risk. Mofan explains that they won't be able to achieve their goal without taking a chance, and everyone emphatically agrees. They all then proceed with the plan, and Zenzaya explains that she is doing her best to keep the demons calm. Ling Ling then instructs everyone to hurry into their positions so that they can take advantage of the demons still being in mental hibernation. They pause for a moment as Zenzaya tells them to watch for her signal, as this is when she will notify them about her releasing the demons from their mental hibernation, and their plan will begin. The guys then all head out to their positions, and Ling Ling reminds them to put on their headsets. They finally get to their destinations and signal to each other that everything is going as planned. Zenzaya prepares to release her magic, and everyone watches with great anticipation as nightfall comes. Zenzaya puts her hand down, releasing her magic, and the white sand giants instantly appear. Mofan is surprised as these demons seem to be much more violent than the ones they had seen in the past. Almost immediately, something unforeseen happens as the group of demons that have surrounded Manyan far outnumber the other groups. Manyan is terrified when he learns that the demons are not evenly distributed, and Mofan points out how this means that their plan won't work. They don't have many options, so Mofan explains that he will take care of his group as soon as possible, and then head over to help Manyan. Manyan uses a spell that makes him think that he is safe for a moment, but it is quickly broken, and he can't help but be overwhelmed by the seemingly endless numbers of demons that continually approach him. Manyan's blessed shield allows him to tank even more damage, but he knows it won't last for long and cries out for help. Zenzaya decides that she will try to calm the demons surrounding Manyan, but Ling Ling stops her. She explains that the demons have already been irritated, and the ones that are irritated are the hardest to calm. This would only waste her mana that they will need for the difficult road ahead. Ling Ling asks does Zenzaya believe in Manyan's defensive abilities, as his is the strongest amongst them. She admits that there are far more demons attacking him, but explains that the number of beings that can step forward and actually cut him at the same time are few and far between. Just holding back the front few should be enough, and Manyan won't die until he runs out of mana. We then watch as Zeng easily maneuvers his way through his pack of demons. Ling Ling points out that he is the farthest from Manyan's pack, which means his group is the smallest of them all. On top of that, he has 2 movement skills and exceptional magic shoes. This all means that he should be fine. This proves to be true as Zeng gets away. He encounters more enemies but quickly blocks them with his earth magic. Nearby, Mofan uses his abilities to take down several demons. After his pendant absorbs some soul remnants, he points out that these giant souls are really valuable, and each white sand giant soul is worth 3 normal ones. He can now combine this many soul remnants into a full essence, and if he uses that with the essence he got earlier, he can raise his vanishing shadows by another level. Mofan realizes that the enemies aren't very fast, so he decides to use this time to level up right now. Mofan then disappears into his shadow realm where he dodges several attacks from the demons. There are far too many of them though, and he does eventually take damage, but he proclaims that once they are surrounded, they will all die. The demons continue attacking the shadows, but are eventually confused, and Mofan uses this opportunity to hit them with a powerful fire attack. Mofan credits the demons for being quite cunning as they split up to attack him, but he expresses relief in how he was able to practice the 4th level of his shadow escape just in time. We then see how this newly enhanced ability was able to get him in a better position for his attack. Lin watches in amazement at Mofan's terrifyingly impressive attack, and he takes in more soul fragments. Lin must act quickly though as several demons are approaching, and Mofan is told to go assist Manyan immediately after he is done there. Zenzaya asks him to stop for a moment, and we see that it's to heal a wound on his back. She explains that her butterfly is a healing spirit, and it will accompany him. If he gets hurt, it will heal him right away, but every time he gets hurt, its body will be completely dimmed. Zenzaya states that once it becomes completely transparent, then it will dissipate and the magic healing will be over. The spirit's healing ability is obviously amazing, but limited, and this makes Mofan realize just how valuable healing mages are. Manyan calls for his help once more, so Mofan heads off to help him, and is shocked to find how bad the situation is there. The number of demons there is awe-inspiring, and Mofan assumes that Manyan must have done something to upset the demons. Manyan tells him to stop talking nonsense, and proclaims that if Mofan doesn't rescue him, then he will haunt him as a ghost. Mofan states that he wants to rescue him, but getting anywhere close to the horde of demons is impossible. Just then, Mofan is relieved to hear that Zeng has arrived to help out, but is shocked to find that Zeng is also being chased by a great number of demons. This is seemingly a terrible position to be in, but Zeng uses an ability that allows him to escape, and the huge wave of demons chasing him ends up crashing into the larger group. Mofan is very impressed by this maneuver, and states how good it was for him to learn from Kong. The attack was even more impressive than it seemed, as Zeng explains that he used another spell that covered his attack with swamps, and the demons didn't even have a chance to think about avoiding it. The two are more optimistic than ever and decide to go eliminate demons together. Zhang offers to cover Mofan so he can unleash his full power, and uses his earth magic to create barriers in front of the demons. Mofan then uses an extremely powerful lightning spell to annihilate several demons, and the two move forward to rescue Manyan. Manyan finally lets down his shield to get some space, and the rescue mission is accomplished. The story continues as Mofan, Zhang, and Manyan are surrounded by white sand demons. The enemy is quickly closing in on them, so Mofan decides on a plan. He instructs Zhang to cut off the group on the right side while he sends out a shadow to distract the left side. As soon as their diversions are set, Mofan and Manyan will be in charge of wiping out the remaining demons. Manyan is eager to get the plan started as Zhang takes off as a distraction. Mofan uses his Vanishing Shadows illusion spell, which successfully distracts part of the group, but the rest of the demons rapidly begin to approach. Luckily, Manyan manages to put up a shield just in time to save them, and declares that it is now time to clean up the demons. Mofan begins their attack with his fiery fist 9 halls, which prompts Manyan to point out how violent he is. Manyan follows up this attack by summoning magical equipment that easily eliminates several demons, and Mofan now realizes that Manyan was always holding onto another trump card. Nearby, the rest of the team watches the guys and are amazed to see that they have dealt with all the white sand giants in the area. Lingling points out that their team consists of a couple very powerful defenders, and Mofan, who is a pure violent mage with immense destructive magic. This perfect combination, along with the perfect plan to shift, disrupt, and disperse the enemy, meant that victory was almost guaranteed. We then watch as Mofan collects several more soul remnants as he points out how they can make him rich. Just then, Zhang announces that he has brought the last remaining demons, and uses his rock barrier to trap them so that Mofan can finish them off with his fiery fist 9 halls. The group then finally find a moment to take a break, and Mofan thinks once again about how all the soul remnants can make him rich. What excites him even more though is thinking about when he is strong enough, he can come again to collect more soul remnants and strengthen his fiery fist to level 4. This combined with all his other leveled up abilities will make him very difficult to defeat, even for the most skilled enemies. The next morning, everyone is eager to continue their journey as Lingling explains that the road ahead is bumpy, so they must pack lightly and quickly take action. Soon after, they finally arrive at the northern burning valley, and Zhang points out how strong the fire element is there. Furthermore, since the obstruction of the river, few people have entered this area since ancient times, and legend has it that there are countless treasures to be discovered. Lingling then gives the others elemental sensors to bury in the surrounding area to measure elemental density around there. They all head out to place the sensors, and they learn that the flame bells usually pick a location with a fire elemental soul seed nearby to bear their children, so if they can find one, then the flame bell shouldn't be too far off. This method has its drawbacks though, as certain beasts could pick up on the signal and attack them. They decide to continue moving and quickly find that everything is ablaze up ahead, and there are some pretty strong flames. The flames seem to be getting bigger, and it's like they're going to eat up the sky. The group shockingly realizes that the flames are not getting bigger, but getting closer instead, and they decide to run. They then notice that something is chasing them as well, and Lingling explains that they are killer armor beasts. Warrior rank monsters that travel in herds and have extremely high defense that's armor can withstand almost all damage. Seeing how a pack of warrior rank monsters is fleeing for their lives makes them wonder just how strong the fire must be. They realize that even if the fire doesn't get them, then they will be trampled by the monsters. They do their best to get away, but the monsters are quickly closing in, and they are forced to jump off a cliff into the sand river. Zendaya instantly uses her psychic magic as several white sand demons appear, and she buys them just enough time to get past them. The monsters follow very soon after and clash with the demons, who are in a very agitated state. A battle breaks out between the two, but it is soon halted when they are all consumed by the immense flames. Elsewhere, an emergency broadcast states that the city has been hit by unexplained hot winds, and they are now under danger level orange. Non-essential citizens and personnel are asked to enter the safe area as soon as possible. In a meeting room, it is reported that the source of the wind disaster was a huge fire disaster that appeared at the northern corner of Zhou Yuan. This also makes it clear that there must be treasures everywhere in that area, and they will just wait for a while to go collect them. The concern is that the Magic Association is surely thinking the same thing. The Hunter Association is certainly already on the move as well, and they realize now that the demons won't be their only enemy now. Our group then walks through the aftermath of the destruction, and Manyan thinks that they should leave since it still seems pretty dangerous. Lin states that she has heard that the fire calamity doesn't happen very often, but when it does, lots of heavenly treasures and materials can be found in its wake. Everyone looks at her a bit strangely for knowing so much about it, but she states that she did some research before coming. Ling Ling is surprised to hear that lots of treasures will appear after the fire calamity, and Lin points out how once the outside world finds out, the many treasure hunters will definitely flock there. Zhang questions if they should continue moving forward or go back, but Zenzaya fears that they won't make it back. Mofan understands the dangerous situation they are in and decides that they will simply put their heads down and just move forward. Lin assures them that things will be a bit easier since the fire calamity only happens once a year, and after such a bad one, the interval will be longer. They continue onward as Manyan states that if he knew how terrifying this place was, he wouldn't have tagged along, even if Mofan threatened to kill him. Mofan points out that they have already made it this far, and they may as well take what they can while they're there. Zhang instantly finds an extremely valuable treasure, and Manyan changes his tune when he does as well. Ling Ling becomes upset though, as she points out that they are the first ones there after the fire calamity, so they shouldn't waste their time on small things, and should try their best to find treasures of the greatest value. She has everyone use the sensors to detect something, and is shocked to detect a soul seed nearby that is very high quality. They find it soon after, and Ling Ling warns that the pit it sits in is filled with powerful fire that was stored beneath the earth, and is strong enough to reduce a normal person into ashes. Mofan doesn't hesitate for a second though, and jumps right in. He approaches the soul seed, and Ling Ling points out that Mofan cultivates the fire system, and is the only one among them that can get close. Mofan very easily takes the soul seed, and shocks everyone with how ridiculously valuable it is. Ling Ling explains that she believes the soul seed is the Illumin fire. It's a top class flame used to forge magic tools and equipment, and forge masters would surely pay a good price for them. Lin stops everyone as she insists that they should look for better heavenly treasures than something like that soul seed, as there are some that are even more unique and valuable around there. Everyone is surprised to hear her speak so confidently, and Ling Ling reminds her that they are all on the same team. They are all risking their lives together, so she shouldn't be afraid to tell them what she knows. Lin is still strangely hesitant and tries to say that she simply wants them to make bigger goals. Ling Ling points out, however, that Lin's knowledge of the area seems to have surpassed all of theirs, even though they prepared before her. It's very obvious that she is looking for something specific and is trying to make everyone help her find it. Manyan urges his cousin to speak up and reminds her that everyone that is there is very trustworthy. Lin agrees to tell everything and begins by stating that someone dear to her has severe burns all over her body. They sought the help of renowned healing magicians, but none of them were able to help. Manyan recalls a relative they have named Lu Jian Li that has been burned so badly that they don't even look human anymore, but points out that it's their uncle. Lin reveals that they are talking about the same person, and their uncle is actually a woman. The burns are so bad that they can't even tell, but this person is her mother. 20 years ago, she was burned by the flames of the fire calamity. Her parents had traveled to the northern burning valley in search of a fire element soul seed, and were caught in the flames. Her mother rescued her father by forcing him away, but she was consumed instantly after. Her father managed to return alone with the treasure they found. It was an extremely scarce resource that changed the status of their family forever. As for her mother, a mysterious being stepped in to save her, and fed her something that helped her survive. Many years later, a group of hunters found her covered in bandages and brought her back. Lin's father, unwilling to change his new comfortable life, hardly acknowledged her return, and just arranged a fake identity for her. He gave her her own house to live in, but has forgotten how she saved him, and just pushed her aside like a burden. Lin reveals that she came along with them because she was waiting for the fire calamity. The fruit that can cure her mother only appears after the calamity strikes, but it withers away after just a few days, and for the past couple years her mother missed it every time. Her father couldn't seem to care any less, so Lin decided to come on her own. Lin then explains that her mother taught her how to calculate when the fire calamity would occur, and fortunately Mofan's group was heading there at the perfect time. However, she didn't expect the fire to be this dangerous and apologizes for not informing everyone in time. Lin states that her mother also mentioned that the flame bell is the protector of the fire calamity fruit. Mofan instantly realizes that this means that if they find the fruit, then they will also find the flame bell. Mofan becomes more eager to help her out and then explains that the fruit is located on the flat top volcano in the central north corner. Thanks for watching part 26. Part 27 will be out sometime around Friday.